In 1966, a World Cup match ended in a brawl. No red cards were shown. Not because nobody deserved one, because red cards did not exist yet. One man watched that match from the stands, drove home through London traffic, and invented the most recognized symbol in world sport. His name was Ken Aston, and in 2026, every red card shown at the World Cup is his idea. Stay with me, because the story of how a set of traffic lights gave football its most dramatic rule is stranger than you think, and the chaos that caused it was even worse. By the end of this, you will know exactly why red and yellow cards exist, who invented them, and why football waited over 100 years to create something so obvious. Before 1970, no cards. For the first 100 years of organized football, referees had exactly one tool to punish bad behavior: their voice. If a player fouled dangerously, the referee spoke to them. If a player was sent off, the referee pointed at the tunnel and hoped the player went. There was no visual signal, no universal symbol, no way for a spectator in the stands, or a player who did not speak the referee's language, to know what had just been decided. In theory, the referee's word was law. In practice, players argued, ignored decisions, and sometimes simply refused to leave the pitch. And nobody outside England had designed a better system. Until 1966, when one match of the World Cup made the entire problem impossible to ignore. 1966, the match that changed everything. England versus Argentina. World Cup quarterfinal. The Argentina captain, Antonio Radin, was ordered off the pitch by the referee Rudolf Kreitlein. Radin did not speak German. Kreitlein did not speak Spanish. Radin refused to leave. For 8 minutes, the match stopped completely while Radin stood on the pitch arguing with a referee he could not understand, surrounded by players from both teams, while officials tried to translate decisions in real time. 8 minutes. At a World Cup quarterfinal, the referee had no way to make his decision clear. No signal, no symbol, just a man pointing at a tunnel and hoping. Ken Aston was the head of FIFA's refereeing committee, watching from the stands. He could not believe what he was seeing. What happened next took place not in a boardroom or a stadium. It happened at a set of traffic lights on Kensington High Street in London. The invention, Ken Aston's traffic lights. Driving home after that match, Ken Aston stopped at a red light, and it clicked. Traffic lights work in every country, in every language, for every driver. Nobody needs to speak English to understand that red means stop, yellow means warning, green means go. Aston proposed a system where referees would hold up colored cards, yellow as a formal warning, red as a dismissal, giving every player, coach, and spectator an instant, universal, language-free signal. Simple, visual, impossible to misunderstand. FIFA approved it. Yellow and red cards made their official World Cup debut at the 1970 tournament in Mexico. Ironically, no red cards were actually shown at that tournament. But the system worked, and it never left. Here is what almost nobody knows about what happened next, because the card system immediately created a brand new problem that took decades to solve. The new problem, accumulation. The original card system only covered single-match decisions. A yellow card warned you. A second yellow turned into a red. You were sent off that match. But what about the next match? For years, yellow cards simply reset between games. A player could collect a yellow card in every match of a tournament, never miss a single minute, and face no cumulative consequence. Clever players used this deliberately, picking up tactical yellows to foul key opponents, knowing they would not be suspended. Football had solved one problem with cards and immediately created a loophole inside its own solution. The accumulation rule, where collecting a certain number of yellow cards across multiple matches triggers an automatic ban, came later and took years to standardize across different competitions. Even today, the threshold differs between the Premier League, the Champions League, and the World Cup. And in 2026, there is one more development that even most football fans do not know is coming. A third card that sits between yellow and red. The 2026 development. IFAB, the body that writes football's laws, has been trialing a blue card. Not at the World Cup. Not yet. But in lower leagues and youth football across multiple countries, referees have already used it. The blue card signals a temporary 10-minute sin bin suspension, borrowed directly from rugby. In theory, it gives referees a middle option between a warning and a sending off for dissent and cynical fouls. In practice, football fans have reacted as if someone proposed dismantling the goal. The same argument made against yellow cards in 1966, football does not need this, is now being made against blue cards in 2026. Ken Aston died in 2009. He never saw the argument his traffic light idea would still be causing 60 years later. Football resisted yellow and red cards for over 100 years. Then a man got stuck in traffic and solved the problem in 5 minutes. Now football is resisting the next card for the same reason it resisted the last one. Because football always resists until it doesn't. The card did not change the game. It just made the decisions visible. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot to me.